This is American Nomad News. Darren Marchant reporting. This is a special segment on how a desperate homeless guy acquires coffee. I have myself a cup that I've been using for a little while, actually, and it's pretty grungy, and it still has the plastic coating on the inside of the cup, which is a problem because if you scorch it a little, as you can see, there's a little brown spot in there where I did actually scorch it. Then the plastic burns off and gets in your coffee and makes the coffee not taste good. And I'm sure the chemistry is not what I want in my body, even though normally the plastic is perfectly safe during the canning process. But the canning process is, well, it's not exposed to oxygen, it's in water. There's a whole thing about it. I used to do canning, so I know. But the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, my universal heating source, and you've seen that in the other videos, and I'm going to burn the crap out of this. I'm going to vaporize all the dirt, leftover dried on chocolate and coffee, and vaporize that plastic layer and sterilize the can in the process. And then I'm going to rinse it off a little bit, get the dust out, and I'm going to make me a cup of coffee. I'm going to film the whole thing. And here we go. Because there's no editing. YouTube and Google Chromebook will not let me edit videos. They're dead set against me being able to edit anything, and I have to squash it into 15 minutes with no editing capacity. So here we go. Set. Nope, sometimes that happens. It happens a lot, actually. Make it a little easier. Get that up a little higher. Burn that stuff off. You can see the plastic burning as I heat the can up to red hot. I'm actually vaporizing the metallic coating that they put over the steel of the can on the outside, so that's burning off too. And all the glue, there won't be any stickiness to it anymore. You notice the smoke and flames have largely disappeared, even though this can is super duper hot. I still haven't done the bottom of it yet. That thing is super sterilized. Except, I still have to do something real quick. Set this thing on its side. You notice the can is a whole different color. It's not silvery color anymore. I'm going to need to prop that up with something. We're going to take a little magnet that I happen to have handy. It's always good to have a magnet in your toolkit. Just pull that over there. That should hold it. Light the torch can. You can smell the plastic in the air. The bottom, as you can see, still has that shiny coating, but this now is what's called blued metal. It has turned blue. As you can see, there's more smokes coming out. I'm not able to light it. Again, sometimes the torch knocks out for a second. And that's the seal. I wonder if this is going to leak. It probably shouldn't. Oh, it smells like burning tire. It smells like if you accidentally melt a plastic pen, that's the smell that you get. Or a plastic fork and spoon. I used to play with that a while back, playing around with ideas on plastic welding. So there is, that's, what am I at, just about 6 minutes. There is one super burnt can. I'm going to pour some water in there and see what happens. It should cool it off suddenly. I don't see any leak. It should give me the ability to handle it. It should more than absorb the heat. So we're going to take this and we're going to set it like that. Okay. Okay. I may be wrong in something that may harm me, but I'm not afraid. So this is not to recommend to anyone to do this in such a way that they sue me for telling them that something was safe when it wasn't. Because you know what? It's my opinion that we are never safe. And so it doesn't scare me, it doesn't bother me to do this. And I'm not going to sue anybody for something I try. But it seems to work. So that is one sterilized, deplastified, non-leaking little tin cup with a reasonably sharp little edge that you shouldn't cut yourself on. Just be careful when you drink coffee out of it. We are at 7 minutes. 7.5 minutes. Okay. So. Coffee. Okay, we're gonna just throw in there. No one is financing my coffee making with this stuff. This is just some good quality brick oak coffee that I found at a Latino grocery store nearby. That I happen to appreciate very much. The variety of foods, the quality of foods that sometimes come with grocery stores whose cultures are a little different. You have access to another variety of things. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so we are at, looks like almost 9 minutes. I have about 4 minutes to turn this into coffee, and you can see that there is just a little bit of coffee grounds at the top. Because it's handy, and I've sterilized it, I'm using a little screwdriver from my kit to stir the coffee. I'm going to place that just so that inner cone of flame is right on the middle of the cup. I'm going to stir that in. The coffee grounds start out hydrophobic. That means they don't want to absorb water. The oil is still cold and doesn't want to mix in with the water. But it has an interesting property that once the water's hot enough,
that oil just, the coffee grounds stop being hydrophobic, and they become, I believe the term is hydrophilic. We're learning little science terms here. There's some little coffee grounds on the rim. I knocked those in. Hopefully it won't taste like burnt plastic. It shouldn't. It'll just be carbon left. And I rinsed it out. So it should be good. Nobody do this at home unless they're perfectly willing to take the responsibility of whatever the hell happens to them. And if they get sick and get cancer, don't sue me. Turn it up a little bit because I'm at 11 minutes. It has become hydrophilic, but I have found that it doesn't really completely release the oils from the vegetative part of the bean until the water gets a chance to actually go all the way up to boiling. And it's only partially boiling now. It's a little bit on the edges boiling. I don't need that magnet, so I'm going to go ahead and take that carefully off of there. Throw that in the kit. Don't forget it. And you can see in the video, I'm looking at it now, just the edge right here is boiling just a little bit. It's really not where I want it to be. It's getting there. I'm going to stir it so the rest of the water warms up. I need all that water to be up to boiling, not just the edge. Try and heat up the whole can a little bit here. We got a couple of little sparky bits. You know, it's getting to where it's wanting to boil. But heat it down on the bottom, it's going to want to circulate. We are at 13 minutes. I'm going to have to hit the button here in a second, or YouTube will not allow me to load anything over 15 minutes because I don't own a cell phone. To buy a cell phone, you can do over 15 minutes, but they censor people who don't have cell phones. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It hit boiling. Let's stir it. There we go. We are at boiling. So I'm going to hit the button now. That's how I make coffee.